Okay. Ish. 3, 2, 1. I don't even know why I'm counting. And podcast just supposed to start.
But then, in your defense, you've been doing a lot of tests and there's all this new equipment, so I get why you have to count yourself down to just like get in there.
I'm like, 1 minute, 2 minutes, let's start.
Let's do this.
Hello.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm sweating. I'm trying to breathe normally, but I've been
It's
walking
been a lot
and
setting up this whole shindig, hey?
if somebody, do you know anybody that just wants to be a videographer and not get paid?
I only know you.
I'm
and
like the
on
only
that,
person that does stuff for free.
no, you don't been doing no. Let me complain before we get into today's episode. Let me complain. You are
Yeah.
a terrible videographer.
Oh my goodness.
When it comes to me,
when it comes to you,
when
Like-
I ask you to help me with my vlogs, you give me all sorts of excuses. You're like 5 minutes, my back hurts. Okay, you know what? Like there's too many people. We'll do it later.
Oh my goodness.
And like it's so demotivating.
Let me give you. Let
No,
me give
we'll
you a
get
reason.
into it. No,
let
we'll
me,
get.
Let
no,
me give you a quick
it's
reason.
part of this. It's part of this podcast for today.
Okay. How are you doing?
I got you so good.
Take it easy.
I'm
Take
good.
it easy. I know I always make topics that trigger you a little bit, but please let's
You
let's
make the
keep this
topics
friendly.
for me.
Let's keep this friendly.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Long
Can't
day?
complain. It has been a long day. I worked for a little bit after, a while,
Yeah.
a long pause. So it was sort of like I needed to get back in the groove. And yeah.
At least it wasn't raining, so.
It wasn't raining. Plus, I was, the warnings that we received yesterday about the weather. So I was a little bit worried.
Yeah.
That there would be like a lot of rain and stuff like that. But it was pretty dry and got a little bit cold later. But yeah, it was okay.
That's good because when I went out in the morning, when I was walking home, I was almost blown away because it was so windy.
I'm trying to remember if there was wind actually.
You're tall, so I think it's like it goes right past you.
What's height got to do with like?
I
the
don't
wind
know
blowing
because it
you
just
off?
felt like the wind was attacking me, and I had like 2 heavy bags with me, so I just felt like the wind was against me. I was like, they're struggling to get through, and it was so funny because I think the wind was blowing like right straight towards me. I was like going this way, and
Yeah.
all the people that were coming this way were just walking so fine, and I was there like struggling, like going through, like oh my gosh, it was terrible.
Oh my goodness. No, it's good. We're here, so we survived.
We did. We survived the storm that's been happening in most of Europe.
Oh yes. We're still alive. So, yes, we were on holiday and
Yes, we were on holiday.
took a very good trip to does Lithuania have like a special, like Lithuania, the land of something?
I have no idea.
Guys, learn to do some research, please.
Technically, I would have loved. The only thing I did research on, before going to Lithuania. Can I talk about that on this podcast? Though?
Yeah, of course.
Is if they like black people there because I don't like to get myself in sticky situations. So, and unfortunately, the world that we live in is you actively have to be aware of your what ethnicity? No, ethnicity is not the right word. Of your race.
Your race.
Yeah. So for me, that was my biggest worry because I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where we are treated a certain way, or we are treated cruelly, or people are out to kill us or kidnap us. My biggest fear is being kidnapped. I don't want to be in nobody's basement. So
But why the worry? Why the worry though? Did you like get a tip from someone, or is it just this general concern that you've developed to be
yeah, it's a general concern, and also I listened to a podcast before this podcast. It wasn't even a podcast; it was a book. It was Gabrielle Union's latest book, and she talked about an experience that she had with her friends in Croatia.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
pretty
somewhere
close.
around here.
Did you like go on Google Maps and like I want to check how far Croatia
No,
is from?
unfortunately I didn't do that, but I did go on a Google spiral and go like, okay, I'm going to this new country that each time when I tell people that, oh, I'm going to go on holiday on Lithuania, they're like, huh? You're like, where? Like, people don't know about it. So I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, maybe I need to like do more research of like, am I like welcome, or will I be treated differently or whatever. So yeah, that's the one thing I did research. I don't think I even researched. Okay, maybe I watched like one or two YouTube videos of like things to like see in Vilnius.
Yeah.
But for me, it was mostly looking out for like who was in the video.
Yeah, just for you to be safe.
Like because I
first.
think that's the most important thing of if you're going to go somewhere and be there for a few days is you want to be safe. And of course, I knew when we meet up with like the group of friends that we're going to meet up with, it was going to be a diverse group. So then we know we'll be in a group, so maybe it would be safer.
Yeah.
But then I also knew we were going to spend like most of the time traveling by ourselves. And it's different when you're traveling like as an interracial couple. But we are traveling as dark-skinned, beautiful melanin couple. So it
like
was
melanated.
Yeah, you tend to draw attention when you don't mean to draw attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. and you and I, when we are together, we're all like, lovey-dovey and all of that. I like the sugar. But
it gets people watching.
Yeah, and that gets people's attention. So for me, I just wanted to make sure we were going to go into an area that is safe, not just safe, but welcoming. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe, on that note, we can just dive into the trip itself. Because
let's talk about the vacation.
I was going to build up on like what you just brought up, like issue of race. It's one of the first things that I noticed. I didn't have it. Of course, you and me had a conversation like before we left. You told me about it. You're like, okay, I need to check for this and how the situation is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was thinking about it consciously.
I planted the seed.
Exactly. So like immediately we arrived, I think right from the airport to when we like went to the hotel, I was just consciously looking around, and it's I was like, there are no black people here. Like like right from the airport, I was just trying to see. You go to Europe, of course, it's mostly like it's mostly white people, and it's normal to find black people as a minority here. But then at least you need to see that one guy or that one woman that's black. You're like, okay, I see you, my guy.
You see a few people here and there, yeah.
Exactly. But then it was just like blank. Yeah. Nothing, absolutely nothing. If I'm not mistaken, it took us like until the next day.
Yeah.
So
to see somebody, yeah.
That's true. I was like, and knowing black people, they say they're everywhere, but where are they here? It's
you needed to feel the sense of community.
Exactly. So it was it was I want to call it enlightening. It's something that just came up, and I was like, oh wow, actually very, very few black people here.
Yeah.
So yeah, race, anything else to take note of?
We went straight into like the big one. We dived right in. No, I think your question was is like Lithuania called the land of something. I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really do my research that much.
Yeah.
For me, it was just like, how safe am I going to be to go here? Because it was an interesting experience, but it wouldn't have been the place that I picked for my holiday.
Ah,
Yeah, like it
okay.
wouldn't have been my first choice. Not that there's anything wrong with Lithuania or anything like that. I'm just saying that we actually went there like for a different reason and decided to make it like a vacation as well.
Mm,
Yeah, so yeah.
true. Okay. Um. So maybe we can. I can talk about something apart from, of course, the issue of race. I think one other thing that caught our attention was the currency. Of course, they use the euro
Oh
there,
yeah.
so
And if I can be honest enough, it was actually my first time using euros.
it was the first time.
It was my first time.
I'm trying to think. Have I used euros before? Yeah, but
You've traveled more than me, so
I've been to. Do they use euro in the Netherlands? I think they use euros in the Netherlands and in Spain. So
look at you, well traveled.
But I should mention that it was my first time with like using cash because because I could use in Spain and Netherlands I could use
just your card,
just my credit card.
Yeah.
Okay, not my credit, but my debit card.
We don't do credit cards here.
Very important, people. Don't use credit cards.
It's not like the US or something. So.
But yeah, I think currency. People in like Lithuania, I don't know how true this is, but I felt like they're still in a phase of using cash like quite a lot. I don't know if maybe it's true for the whole lot of like the Euro countries.
The people that use euros, the countries
the
that
countries.
use euros. Yeah, because it seemed like a little balanced with like cash or card. Like they literally asked you, "Are you going to pay with cash or card?" So
exactly.
Yeah, and it seemed like cash was like the more used.
Yeah,
maybe?
it was more used. Like people actually had cash. Like
like it was a thing to actually have cash.
it was.
See, that's why I had a lot of cash. I remember when we had the dinner with our friends and I paid, and everybody was like, "You have so much cash."
You have so much cash. Please give us the backstory of how you got that cash.
It's your fault. I still say it's your fault that I got that much cash.
I said
because you didn't
give
want
us the
me.
backstory. It's not my fault.
It is your fault. You did. First of all, I was doing it for you because you really needed coins to store our luggage in like the storage lockers.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to get coins, so I'm like, I can withdraw some cash. But then when I went to like the ATM, it gives you the options of like, I think it gave me like 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, maybe 10 is too little.
Yeah.
Cause I thought of like long term. I'm like, if like we need cash for storage lockers, we'll obviously need cash for like something else. So like, if I can get, and I was like, should I get like 100? But then maybe that would be like too little. I mean, I knew it would be okay because then you like pay for something and then like get your coins. But then I'm like, but then what if we need like more later in the trip? So in my head, because I'm now so conditioned to like Norwegian krona, I'm like, maybe I can get like a 200. Like 200 is like a good amount to have on you. Like as cash, because then like if you use like a 50 and then you can get like the change with the coins and then we can have like a 150. That was my reasoning. So like when I clicked and so much cash came out, I was just like, maybe it's like they gave me small notes because they gave me like 50s, 20s and 10s. And I was there comfortable, like, oh yeah, I withdrew the money and I came. And you were like, why did you get so much money?
Because that's the first thing that came to mind was I think it's an easy way for me to understand like the euro has been to like immediately. I'm pretty sure you did this with like the krona and kwacha. Yeah. Like every time I see like 10 euros, I just add another zero and I'm like, okay, it's 100 krona. So
Okay.
so when
Yeah, that's the knowledge I was missing because, as I said, it was my first
it
time
was the
actually
first time.
interacting with the euro. I think I'll probably be the same with the US dollar because I have used the US dollar before, but it was like thing of where it was given to me.
Oh,
Like I didn't
okay.
have to change or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So with the euro, it was like I needed to first, if I'd learned first like the currency, because it's the same thing when you move to like when I moved to Norway, I had to learn like what the currency meant, and as you said, I was like referring it to like the kwacha
Yeah,
from back home.
exactly.
Yeah, so like then now I understand it better. So like when you told me like 200 kronas, like I already know like what that translates to in my currency, which is the kwacha.
Yeah.
I don't know what it translates to the euro or the US dollar. I have no idea. So so that was interesting because then I'm not sure if this is like podcast material, because then I got mad, and I got mad at you for not telling me that,
Exactly. It's like, why didn't you tell me? I was like,
yeah, exactly, because your reaction was like, you got too much money, and like I genuinely didn't know that I got too much money, and you seemed like upset that I got too much money. Then I got upset because you were upset with me, and I was upset. Like I just got
oh my goodness. But yeah, such is a confusion that exists, but pretty interesting. Money wise, like, was it cheap? Do you think it was like generally
Now I
cheap?
don't know if it was cheap because when I got the cash, it seemed cheap
It seemed
because
cheap.
yeah, because it was like, oh, we had a meal and they're like 14 euros. I'm like, oh, only, and
Like
I would
just
pay.
14.
But then afterwards, I'll think about it like, then what does that translate to in krona? So it's like maybe like 140 or maybe like 150. But then it would still be cheap because if we could have a meal under 20 kronas for both of us, then it is cheap.
Yeah, it is. Like if you had, because most of I think the meals that we had were under €3. Most of
3
them.
euros?
Yeah.
Were they? Not 20.
No. Wait, no, they were under, sorry.
Under
30,
20.
Under 20.
Under 30 euros.
Under 30 euros.
Yeah, you can say that.
They were under 30 euros.
And that's for both of us, yeah.
And that's for both of us, so makes it cheap. Like if you compare it to like Norwegian prices.
So I would say it was cheap.
It was
because
cheap, right?
even when we bought our drinks at the alcohol, when we bought our alcoholic drinks at the airport, it was about like 30 something euros.
30 something euros, which is like 300 in Norwegian crowns, and
and we got like 2 bottles. In Norway, that would be like 700. 800 kroner.
True. So
yeah, it is kind of relatively cheap, and also I think I'm on the side of it's cheap because we took boat rides. We ordered. Remember the day when we just stayed? We ordered so much food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was still like maybe we spent like 500 krona.
Maybe 500.
Or like 5, 6, 700.
Somewhere there. Yeah, I would agree. I agree with that. It is cheap. So if you're thinking of, to everybody that wants to
please visit Lithuania, please
go to an affordable place, not cheap but affordable.
Yeah, because even the accommodation was pretty interesting. The accommodation was pretty cheap.
It was pretty cheap actually.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
But maybe it just depends on where you go. Like where we went was
it was pretty cheap. I will admit though that after our hotel experience, I told myself we're going to be staying in nicer places like the Sandvik or Radisson Blue or something. Like I would try my best to not save costs.
Try not to save costs on a vacation. Yeah, I think that's the rule. I mean, you don't really have to go for like the expensive stuff, but just try and not get the cheapest. Yeah.
But we didn't get the cheapest.
It wasn't the cheap by far. It wasn't the cheapest.
It was like in the middle. It was like, the average.
It was average.
But I will admit I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Because it had really, really good reviews.
It had good reviews, huh?
Yeah. And because of you, I picked it best. Like the hotel we stayed at the first time, I picked it best on the reviews, but it had so good reviews. Everybody, was like, "Oh, good breakfast, good location, good
Mm.
rooms, and all of that." I'm like, okay, maybe this is a
Let's go on with it.
place. It's a place to. I mean, the location was great. I won't refuse that. Like
Mm-hmm.
the location is like perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very central.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very central.
But yeah, I wasn't impressed with the room.
What I noticed about
Mm.
like Lithuania is that they value reviews
Oh yeah, on everything.
on everything. Like reviews are everywhere. I know it's there here. Like people do value reviews, especially like when you order food. Usually, they'll maybe send you an email to say, "Oh yeah, take a moment to like leave us a review and stuff like that." But there, it's like immediately you receive a service. When you're done,
You have to
you
review
have
it.
to review. You just have
And I
to
think they
review.
review you back, right?
Yeah, they do review you back. I
Damn.
noticed this with
Like rating you.
So it's a two-way. It's always a two-way thing. It's
Mm.
always a two-way thing. Which I think is important. I mean, not when you're being reviewed. I really don't like that so much, but it's generally a good thing. It's generally a good thing. I feel like people it improves quality.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
if you are providing like, I don't know, mediocre a service or providing products that are substandard or anything like that, people
Mm-hmm.
won't buy from you, and you're saved from wasting money on things that are not on mediocre services, stuff like that. Even though I was pretty disappointed with like the food that we bought. I won't say the food
Meal.
specifically, but yeah, the last meal was.
We should have stuck with KFC
We should have stuck with KFC.
for that last meal.
KFC, come to Norway, please.
Oh no, they're not coming. We can visit other countries to have it.
Yeah. So that was the reviews. Anything else you took note of?
I don't know. Because I felt like we spent most of the time traveling.
Oh, and maybe one of the disappointing things was the weather, because the day that we actually planned to go out and explore.
To be tourists. Yeah, but then that we can't fault that on Lithuania. It happened all around Europe. So
no, I mean not necessarily. It wasn't a fault like on Lithuania, but it just, of course, it's natural.
It sucked for our vacation.
It sucked for our vacation.
We still did have a good time indoors. It was just we had a good time with disappointment mixed in it. Because,
mixed.
Yeah, we really wanted to go out, and we had like set out to go see like the garden that we wanted to see that day before, and then the old town as well.
The old town.
Take classy pictures of old buildings that we
The
see on
old
Instagram.
buildings. Oh wow! Should have seen that. Really should have seen that. And there was some really nice art. I remember, like, not on the day that we actually planned to take the walk, but I think that was the second day. Was it the second day?
Yeah, when we had some time before we took the train.
Before we took a train. Yeah, well, at least we managed to walk for a little bit, and it was just some random pictures, and I think we were, walking against time, so it was all in a rush, but from what we saw, what happened?
No, I was just smiling.
Busy admiring yourself, some people. Yeah, it was a quick tour. I think it lasted less than an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were rushing to take the train because we had already missed one, so we were not trying to miss the next one. Yeah.
True. What was that? I'm trying to remember the central place where I think we found somebody taking a video.
I don't know. Did we even know what it was called? we
I think
we randomly just walked onto the place.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
we? Did we know
I
what
think
it was?
I think there was something written there. I just can't remember what. Anyway, I might just put a picture of it in the podcast.
He'll show you.
Yeah, interesting stuff. So yeah, the food. Did we speak about the food?
The food was okay on the most part. It
Mm-hmm.
was just the last meal that we kind of like. Maybe we just ordered like from the. We should have checked the reviews.
We should have checked the reviews.
Yeah, but the food was. Yeah.
Okay. And some Lithuanian. Did we taste any Lithuanian food?
Yeah, at the wedding.
Oh yeah, we did at the wedding. The bread. What?
I don't know. I ate so much food.
Was it?
I have
Was
no
it roasted or fried breadsticks or something?
Oh yeah, even like the pies we had the next day, those were
Oh, the pies.
Mm.
Okay, those were nice.
They were actually really nice.
I
wish I took
could.
a whole bowl.
Exactly. I'm like, why didn't you take the whole plate?
Really.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we should be running out of time. I'm trying to check how much time we have anyway. The invisible director says we're running out of time. So if I were to ask, like, let's give the trip to Lithuania on a scale of like 1 to 10.
What rating it?
How are you likely from from your experience? How are you? How much is it? How likely are you to suggest? Is it suggest
to
to
recommend?
somebody? Yeah, to recommend.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Yeah. And not because it was like boring or anything like that. But I feel like the way like we went there for a wedding. So we kind of got to experience like traditions, like wedding traditions. And I feel for me that was the most fun part because we got to see all these different traditions and they were explained and like so that felt like being exposed to the culture more. Yeah, and we really didn't get to talk to a lot of Lithuanian people. We only talked to some people at the wedding.
Yeah.
And of course they were nice because it was a wedding. But then the general reception, I think I even felt this even when we were leaving at the airport. Like they're serious people.
Yeah,
very serious people.
The energy there is different. It's not the and this is why I always say countries are different. Like I felt this when I came to Norway. Back in Zambia, it's a different kind of vibe that you have with strangers.
Yeah.
Like you don't just say hi to each other. You can actually have a conversation with a random person and talk and talk and talk.
True.
And in Norway, people will smile at you. People will actually smile at you and maybe even say hi or hello, just a greeting, and then it ends there. And it was a little bit weird, coming from Zambia and to Norway and experiencing that. But then it was again different, getting used to like the vibe in Norway of just at least a smile, like you just smile at somebody.
That was the important changing factor. I don't expect you to chat with me. I don't expect you to become my best friend just because I'm in your space. No, but at least smile, be welcoming.
Just a smile seems really, really welcoming.
I think if we were to compare the three, Lithuania, Norway, Zambia, I'll start from Zambia. If I walked into a cafe and I'm like, oh, hey, so what you have?
Yeah.
I think the person who is selling me whatever will actually take the time to explain like this. And if I ask them, what would you recommend?
Yeah.
They'll actually go further and like, oh, I personally like this. But then if you're a sweet tooth person, like they'll go the extra mile. In Norway, they'll be nice, they'll smile, like, oh yeah, these are the options that we have. And you're like, if you ask them what would you recommend,
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, I can't really recommend anything, but then this is popular, most people get this.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
exactly.
they would still give you like, they would still keep it professional, but they would still give you that.
Yeah.
But the reception we got in Lithuania was, what are you getting?
Yeah.
Decide what you're getting. Are you getting this or not? I'm like, okay, your
Just
menu
make a
is in
decision.
Lithuanian. What's in it? Meats, vegetables, I don't know. Just pick something. I'm like,
Just pick something.
okay.
And just to make, to clear things up, people might confuse this with like race. This is not about race, because
No, it wasn't.
it was
Yeah,
with
it
everyone.
wasn't even about race.
Yeah.
It was with everyone.
It was with
yeah.
everyone, because we our friends are from, you know, everywhere. Whites,
Yeah,
Asian.
we were a
It was a
diverse
mixed
group. Like,
it was a mixed bunch.
Yeah.
So it has, yeah, nothing. I'm sure if it happened to just you and me, would go like, maybe it's just
maybe
us.
they just don't
But
like
no,
black
it's
people, but
it's everyone. It's
Mm.
like everyone. That's just the vibe there. And you would think that people are actually doing that because they don't like you. I was just checking the people that were reviewing me.
Mhm.
They gave me 5 stars, all of them. Like, from the transport we took, from
Yeah.
the food we ordered, everybody was just like 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. And then you're like, okay, so that's the energy that people actually have with each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. I was actually seeing one of the French girls that we were with.
Mm-hmm.
Because we came back like yesterday.
Yeah.
And she's been there until today. So she actually got to see Cholet, the city we were in for the wedding.
Yeah.
And like interact more with like the local people. Like the way you guys bought apples off the street, like she actually went and actively spoke with the people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you need to kind of like get them to, you need to initiate and then get them into that space of where they need to talk to you. Because she was like, oh no, the people seem unfriendly at first, but then when you actually have a conversation with them, then it's like, you know, like it's a whole different person.
Then it's a different person.
So I'm like, but then you could at least just smile at me in the street.
Just a little smile.
Just a little
It
smile.
goes a long way. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, people have their own way of doing things.
Yeah,
so,
different cultures. And yeah, it might be like a culture thing. Let people understand each other in like that setting of where for them, when you need to mean business, you just need to have serious, like for them maybe that's their culture, and for us it seems maybe a little bit unwelcoming.
Yeah.
But then I'm guessing if we got integrated in the society, or like we stayed there a little bit longer, would have gotten to understand it from their perspective.
From their perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then we came in with our own, you know, we came in with our own culture projections, and what they're projecting on them. Yeah.
We're like, it's supposed to be like this. Interesting stuff. And maybe finally, about the wedding, no specifics, of course.
Oh, the wedding was amazing.
The wedding, it was amazing.
I cried a few times.
Of course. And there was this one moment I was just like, I think it was when like the groom and the bride were receiving gifts.
Yeah.
And I knew you guys, I knew one of you would cry. So I was like, I'm gonna let you go and do the crying, and then
you literally let us go by ourselves.
I'm like, it's not a sad moment, guys.
No, it's not. It's not like
I know
sad.
It's like tears of joy.
Yeah, it was tears of joy.
It's tears of joy, but you know,
it's seeing our two friends, and like, you know, after seeing, I mean, we met them when they had been like a year into their journey, right?
Yeah.
And for them, everything was still like kind of new. They moved. Oh, yeah, they actually did move here together and all of that. So it was, for me, what made me emotional was like seeing this journey. And I saw at least Kathy actively like plan this wedding through our classes, and each time we met for our check-ins and all of that, she was like actively planning this wedding. And to see like all the things like she wanted and all the things that she was hoping for actually come to like, you know, come to life, and like they managed to do most of the things.
Yeah.
That was, you know, it was super emotional. Like, oh my gosh, you actually did this. Like, you worked as hard to sacrifice to do all of this. So it was like a proud kind of like, oh my God, you did this. Like you went through all the stress. Like you made it, and I'm so proud of you. Oh I'm happy for you. I'm
Oh
overjoyed.
my goodness.
It
I
was
was,
so
and I was
nice.
just there. I was just there. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be the guy that's, going to smile in the
But
presence of people
we all did
having
smile.
this emotional moment. No, but
We smiled.
it was good. But like, of course, it was a good wedding, wonderful, wonderful, well planned.
Yeah,
Um,
very well planned.
yeah, but I just wanted to ask, like, was was there anything that came out as different from like a wedding that you're used to?
Yeah. I've attended a lot of weddings. I don't mean to brag, but I have attended a lot of weddings, and it was nice to see how they infused a lot of like the culture aspects.
Hmm.
For us back home, like the things that they were doing, like the little things that they did before they went in.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are done kind of like maybe a day before or a day after because they
Oh
are
yeah, it's
considered
like
as like,
separate.
yeah, it's like considered like a separate thing because they are considered like the more traditional things.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
they do all these traditional things either before or after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice to see that they're incorporated in the wedding in this way, in this way of where it's like fun and like like you get to share it with the guests.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I also liked the theme of it was kind of like what do you call it, like what do you call it when you go to have like a destination wedding.
Yeah, destination wedding.
Yeah, and I really like that because they rented this space for all of us
Mm-hmm.
to go and just like have the wedding there and then like stay there, have like the next day as well to just mingle with the couple and have breakfast and food. And that for me made it really wholesome because we didn't have to rush through the wedding. Like we literally partied until some of you partied until 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
And that's what made it like really, really special because it wasn't like a forced program of where like, oh, now this is next, this is next, this is next, this is next, let's get this show on the road. No, it was like, oh yeah, now the couple is going to receive gifts. After that, mingle, drink champagne, drink whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, now afterwards, now they're gonna give speeches, and like they gave us time to breathe. Like
Exactly.
there was so much that happened, but we didn't feel like it was so much because it was really, really spaced
It was
out. Because
well planned.
yeah, nobody had to leave at some point. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh no, we have to get home and whatever. No, because everybody was actually staying at the same place. So that was
nobody needed to rush.
yeah, that was really nice because they were having their dance. I think that was like 1 a.m.
At 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
I do agree. It was well planned because I haven't been to that many weddings, but I've noticed for the few that I've been to, the program is sort of yeah, it's compressed. They're trying to get as much as possible done in
like
yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll probably like you maybe hire a venue and they're like, okay, you're only supposed to be here from I don't know 4 until 10. So you're just trying to do everything in that short space of time, and it gets overwhelming for people sometimes,
Yeah.
It gets overwhelming and you just take the fun out of it. You're like, okay, let's just get this and this and this and this done.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they just, got a place from I don't know what time that it started, whether it was 6 or 7 until
until the
people
next
died.
day at 3 because we were like the last people to leave that venue.
The
nobody
last,
kicked us out.
Nobody kicked us out. It was like, okay, they hired like the place until I don't know what time.
Until the last guest
last guest left.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
And even the people that were working the venue for the wedding, I think they left somewhere 1, 2. Like after we had eaten like the first round of food, and I like the fact that they kept the food coming. The like finger foods and all of that. Like they just kept it coming. The water, the drinks, and all of that. And when it was time for them to knock off, they just didn't go like, "Oh yeah, it's my knock off time. I'm going." Like they left everything out for us to be able to save ourselves. Yeah, and then like they left, which was really, really good.
Really good. Well
I ate so
planned.
much at that wedding. Like, I don't think I've eaten. I don't remember the last time I ate that much. Because everywhere you passed, there was food. Like, literally.
There was food everywhere.
And it wasn't
Outside,
like,
inside, the
yeah.
sweet food, the salty, the
And the
oh my
worst part was, it wasn't like, like big heaps of food. Like, oh no, you get some. No, it was
god.
like the little
The
finger
small,
thingies,
small.
and they look so good. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
this is salmon what? This is a chicken wing. This is a what? This is a what? And this is a breadstick. And you just wanna. I think I tasted almost everything.
Yeah, it was really really good, really really good. So
Mhm.
yeah, congratulations to your two friends, amazing people, of course, for such a wonderful wedding.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, but I do agree with the point that you raised earlier that with the culture, like with the traditions,
Yeah.
they how they incorporated them into like the wedding ceremony. Of
Mhm.
course, compared to Zambia, you'd have everything like
Yeah,
separate.
it's always like something like kind of like hidden, or like just
Mm,
done between the families.
yeah.
Yeah, but then for us, I think for us, especially as the international people, it was really nice to like get exposed to that
Mm-hmm.
culture.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like they were just doing things. They were actually taking time to explain it to us,
They
because
took time to explain
yeah,
it.
most of it was done in Lithuanian, but there was always like a family member, or like the
Mm,
MC really tried
he
his
really
best to
really
really
tried.
like,
His English was like
wasn't that
level
great.
2, but he
Yeah.
tried. He tried.
Yeah, and when we didn't understand, he'd always be like,
Try
translator.
translator, please come and explain.
Yeah. So I really did appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. True, true, excellent. Yeah, that's and pretty interesting. Are you going to have people fly over for a wedding?
I want to. I'm still we are still negotiating about how many people we want there and all of that, like all the details. But I would want to invite our friends from here.
Hmm,
Yeah, I really would.
interesting.
It's up to them to fly there.
It's up to them to fly.
Yeah, but I would really love to invite them, and then like just take care of the logistics when they are with us.
Oh yeah.
But everything else, how you get there, that's on you, bro. And
uh,
Zambia ain't cheap, yo.
stuff doesn't come cheap there.
No.
Yeah. So yeah. All in all, a good experience. I think we're running out of time. Okay, director. Okay. We're running out of time. So
What was your favorite part?
my favorite, of course, it was like about the wedding or just the whole
Both the
experience.
wedding and the trip.
The
The
I
wedding.
would say it was the wedding.
The wedding was your favorite part of the whole trip.
No, I mean it was one of the best experiences because we had I was assuming, was it assuming? I was hoping that our day out would
Yeah.
actually be like the most fun part because then we would take our pictures and go out and explore and
Mhm.
eat food and whatnot
And buy souvenirs.
and buy
I
souvenirs, of
really wanted
course,
souvenirs.
and buy that. But just the event itself, it just because of all that we got to do and the interactions and the
Mhm.
fun that we had, yeah, it was a bright moment. Of course, the next day was nice because we just slept, and you know how I love sleeping in.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, but the wedding was good. And also we got to see a camel, so that was nice.
Oh yeah, we took a little walk on the property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was nice, but yeah, the wedding definitely a highlight. It's just nice, seeing something different. Most of the times with weddings, you usually just see things that we're used to, two people saying I do. And I forgot about the church as well. It was amazing. Like
Oh
the
yeah, the
church,
church
the
they got
church,
married in.
amazing,
Yeah,
amazing,
that's
amazing
true.
building. I mean,
So
wow.
beautiful.
I think if that church was nearby, I would go there every day.
Yeah, it really, really was so beautiful, and I really commend them for like actually
Mm-hmm.
getting married in that church, because I remember when the not that I wasn't paying attention, I was paying attention to the service when
Yeah.
he was like speaking in Lithuanian. I was just like staring, because everywhere you looked there was like art and sculpture, and like it was just so
It
beautiful.
was
It
beautiful.
was. It was
Amazing,
mesmerizing.
amazing. So we were just winding up.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be the first podcast that goes over an hour.
Yeah, but then it was like a 5-day trip, and so much happened.
So
So
hard, so difficult to break down. Yeah. So we were just saying. I was saying the highlight was the wedding, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and we got to see some camels, and did we do anything else? And yeah, I think I took a swim somewhere.
Yeah, somebody in the middle of the wedding decided to go for a swim.
Come
Right in the
on, I was
middle.
talking about the next day.
Oh, you're talking about that swim. Oh yeah, sure. You guys.
Shh, nobody heard that. Nobody went for a swim
No,
during the
but nothing
wedding.
happened. Yeah, but it was really nice. You guys went like for this like group swim
Just a group swim,
in a grass infested lake that you guys get cutting on
and
the
it had
grass.
like tadpoles. Was that-
Yeah,
are
I
they-
did that.
are
I'm
they
sure you don't have
tadpoles?
something. Trypanosomiasis or something.
I was looking at myself and something beats me. I hope it's not like,
No, I think that was the bugs from like when we stayed at the
Oh,
Airbnb,
yeah.
because I was bitten too.
Okay, we're safe. We are safe.
But if it's tadpoles, yeah, gotta. You all just dived in there, and I literally didn't understand, because we went there first, right? You
Mhm.
were like, I need to go for a swim. I was like, okay, fine, I'll come watch you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I just saw like the group of the
A
wedding
group of
party like
people.
coming. I'm like, why are they coming towards us? Like, they were literally coming towards us. And at first, I thought they would like go somewhere else, but no, they kept
They
coming.
came to the same place.
And it was like the first group came. I was like, okay, 2-3 people. And the rest of the people came. I'm like, okay. It's
Did
like
you
that.
tell the others that we were going for a swim?
I think we said it when we're going, because I think you wanted to go shower,
Mm-hmm.
but then somebody else went to shower, and then
there.
like, okay, I'll just go for a swim.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
So maybe we gave everybody the idea.
Maybe we gave them an idea. It was good. So yeah, on that note, a big thank you to Lithuania.
Yeah, a big thank you to Katya and Pavel.
Katya and Pavel as well for the wedding invitation. Wonderful, wonderful wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, guys. I hope you're gonna be watching this.
You should listen to the podcast
and
see
listening
how
to
we
the
trash talk.
podcast. And listening to the podcast as well. Yeah, any last words?
Yeah, just that I would actually want to go back, just to have like that touristy, and I think I'll be much more comfortable going back now, because I kind of like know the drill.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
you know
so what to expect and
what
all
to
of that.
expect.
So I would want to go back like for a weekend trip of like you fly in Friday, and I think it's possible because it was kind of affordable to like travel there.
I think what made the journey long was that we had to get to like
To the other town
Vilnius
for the
and
wedding,
then travel to a different city altogether for the wedding.
And then back again.
And then back again.
Yeah, and also we like traveled again like here. We just like so.
It was pretty long.
Yeah, but I would want to go do like the Vilnius tour of like we go to those gardens and we go to like the old city and just like have a day of just like being touristy.
Mm-hmm.
I would want that. I'm not sure if it's going to be our first destination when we try to go on vacation again. Like, I don't think we want to repeat it just after.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, but I would most definitely go back.
So, Lithuania, we are coming back. You
We're
did not see
back.
The Last of Us. Yeah.
At some point, we'll come back.
We are coming. We are coming. So, thank you very much. I hope to see you again next week.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be here. You're not getting rid of me yet.
Okay, then. Until next week.
Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.